And now to kind of see the whole thing in action, I'm going to show you the best I can, because at some point I'm going to get hit with it if I don't move. Here she comes. Check that out, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. As you can see here, we are at Blackout Tinting today, and we are here to compare the convertible C8 Corvette to the Coupe C8 Corvette. All right, guys, so like I said, we are here at Blackout Tinting. I know you can't really tell, but this is Blackout Tinting's parking lot. And of course, you can see all the Blackout Tinting things happening behind me. Josh was kind enough to let me know he had a C8 Corvette convertible in the shop, and he asked me if I want to make a video of it. And of course, I'm never going to say no when it comes to a C8 Corvette. So here it is. This is obviously the Sebring orange package. It is a 2LT interior, and it has the black Trident wheels with the Stingray center caps. And it is also a Z51 car, as you can tell by the spoiler and the caliper that clearly tells us Z51. The guy optioned out the car very nicely. It has the sky cool gray interior, two-tone with the black inserts. Let's take a look at the interior a little bit before we get into the stuff that you guys really want to see, which is of course going to be the operation of the convertible top. So as you guys can see here, sky cool gray with the black inserts looks really super on this car, especially on the orange color. It gives it that creamsicle look, which you either like or you don't, but in this case I think it's pretty nice. I do not necessarily care for the all sky cool gray interior, but whenever you mix it in with the black like this, pretty cool. Now, like I said, this is the 2LT interior, so we don't get any stitching on the steering wheel, but we do get that awesome video camera rear view mirror, which we'll touch on a little bit more here in the video later on. But he also did opt for the carbon fiber accents on the interior, just like I have on my C8 Corvette, which is right back there. But other than those two things, there's not much different happening on the interior here. Everything's pretty much the same. We still have the wireless charger, the center speaker in the rear. Everything else is pretty much the same as it is on every other C8 Corvette. Now, where things start to get really different is, of course, back here. So with the C8 Corvette, obviously we have the removable targa top. You can take that off and place it in the rear of the car. No big deal. The targa top weighs somewhere around 12 pounds. Removing that allows this section here to this section here to be completely open. So basically a convertible. But GM wanted to take it a step further and make it fully automated. So with the C8 Corvette and the remote, we just press and hold the convertible button and have you see exactly what makes this car so much different than the C8 base model Corvette. So there it is. That's what all the hype is about, guys. Definitely an interesting look. I mean, like I said earlier, it kind of gives it a more of a Lamborghini McLaren-esque look, especially with the top up, but definitely not bad. It's an interesting approach to convertible, one that I would be more interested in than I would be a normal style convertible. It definitely keeps that sleek sport car look about it. If I was into convertibles at all, this would be the one I would get. Since we are here at Blackout Tinting, I employed two of these guys from Blackout Tinting to tell me which one of these cars they like better and why. Obviously the C8 Corvettes are very similar, but one's a convertible, one's a coupe. I want to know which one they like and why. So let's start with Patrick. Tell me which one you like better. In my opinion, I like the convertible better. I'm not a convertible person, but I think the proportions of this one are a little bit better than the coupe. You know, just standing back and looking towards the end of the car where I guess you would have your engine compartment back over there, and you can see the engine, which is great. It's just too long for me. Back here, with the areas split up, it's a little bit shorter and just looks more proportioned overall. Plus, it kind of looks like a knockoff McLaren in a way. Yeah, it does. But I think it's cool. All right, so these particular two guys have differing opinions here, which is why I chose them. He likes the convertible more. Aaron is more of a fan of the coupe, but tell me why.
Although I do really like the convertible, it looks good. It has that McLaren look, like Patrick said. It's just missing a couple things that I like more about the coupe. Mainly, you can see the engine compartment on the coupe, and you can see the nice red engine cover that you put on it. And you can do the same thing practically just by taking the roof off I mean, it's not automatic, but it's not really worth $8 grand more to me.
Right. These are actually called nacelles or buttresses. That look is very reminiscent of a McLaren or even like a Gallardo.
Yeah, yeah. Or even a Mercy, like a Mercy that has the fangs and stuff like that. The only other thing we noticed too is when you put the top down, obviously the two panels go, but you lose this camera. That camera goes in when it goes down, which I guess that's probably one of your 360 cameras.
Yeah, that would be an issue, but you gain a lot more visibility with the top being gone. Yeah.
Not much. Because I was looking through the rear view mirror when I was putting it up and down. They did such a good job between the camera and the rear view mirror. Like, you don't even notice that it's changing.
Really?
Until it changes.
That's pretty cool.
They did it so seamlessly, it's perfect.
And inside the interior of the C8 Corvette convertible, just like I said, we were going to touch on the actual camera rear view mirror here. What's really cool about it is obviously this is a camera right now, but if we go ahead and hit the button here for the convertible top, this actually switches from a camera to a regular mirror. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to press and hold down the button for the convertible top, and it's still the camera. Still the camera. And now it is just a regular mirror. You can see me. Hi. And now to kind of see the whole thing in action, I'm going to show you the best I can, because at some point I'm going to get hit with it if I don't move. Here she comes. Check that out, guys. And then the windows go up. Pretty cool. Both of these C8 Corvettes are both 2LT, both Z51 packaged cars. The convertible one has GT2 seats, but they are both 2LT interiors. You could tell by the front cameras, as well as the fact that the C8 Corvette convertible has that camera rear view mirror option, just like my C8 Corvette does. So at the end of the day, these cars are very similar, but this thing right here is the big difference. So I thought I would kind of go over some of the comparison with you guys just to see exactly what the differences are. And in this particular one, the spec is very nice. Like I said, Sebring orange, the black painted nacelles or buttresses, the whole top is carbon flash painted, so everything matches and looks really good with the car. All of the carbon flash accents, the carbon flash wheels, everything blends together very nicely. For those of you wondering exactly what part of the engine you get to see, that's it. So pretty much nothing, but there is a good bit of heat that comes out of that vent, so the car is still cooled in a similar way that the Coupe is, with the side vents here expelling the heat. Instead, we're getting it right from there. And while we're still in the rear here, I'm going to go ahead and pop the trunk, because believe it or not, the size is still pretty close to the Coupe, but it is slightly smaller. So we will compare this here with mine in just 1 second, but just looking at it, you can tell this part right here isn't quite as deep. Let's pop the trunk on the Coupe as well to really take a look at the differences here. Obviously, we don't get the exact same view with that engine bay, but you could tell the trunk is a little deeper. The biggest difference, I think, is probably the shelf right here, but this appears to be a little deeper as well. So we got the Coupe and the convertible. If cargo space is a thing for you, you may want to consider the Coupe. You definitely get a little bit more with the Coupe because of the design, but you lose that coolness that is the convertible top. What's even more interesting is with the trunk open on the C8 Corvette convertible, we can kind of see some of the cooling aspects here, and you can kind of see some of the resin that they have in there holding these panels together. So if you look at it from out here, you can see the actual vent ends past the split where the trunk actually closes. So when we close this, it moves down. And these are still soft close, just like it is on the Coupe. Now, even though the rear trunks are a different size on the convertible and the Coupe, the front trunks or frunks are exactly the same size. So as you guys know, this car is basically brand new, so you can forgive some of the stuff that's in there, but the frunk size in general is exactly the same. So if cargo space is your concern, the frunks are not a problem. It's the rear trunk that you may have an issue with if you're trying to pack this thing to the gills. Now, I recently took my C8 Corvette Coupe on a road trip to Florida. Me and my wife, we were both able to fit all of our luggage in the car, no problems. The front and the rear trunk were both completely packed, but it did work out. So again, cargo space could be an issue with the Corvette convertible if you're trying to utilize every free square inch, because the difference in size is not massive, but it is there. So that's about it, guys. There's not really a whole lot of differences between the two cars, minus the convertible top and the fact that you can't see the engine bay in the back. The cooling's slightly different. The rear window here in the back is obviously different. The top painted slightly different, and of course the rear trunk is slightly smaller, but other than that, it is basically the same car, which is a really cool concept, because usually you have to sacrifice a good bit of things to have a convertible car whenever it's this level of performance. Now, like I said, I'm not necessarily a convertible guy, but if I was ever to get a convertible, this would be it. This is the best designed convertible I have ever seen. It maintains 99% of the actual look of the coupe while giving you the functionality of the convertible. As you guys know, the convertible is priced a little bit higher than the coupe. I will put the difference in cost right here on the screen, but if that amount of money is worth it to you, then I would say absolutely go for it. The car is very awesome. If you like the coupe but you want a convertible, this is definitely the way to do it. Now, of course, with the top down, you can see into the interior much easier. Like I was telling you guys about the sky cool gray and the black insert combo, the interior is looking really good. So under the sun, or lack thereof here in Pennsylvania, you can clearly see the interior details. A lot of the stuff that remains a little more hidden on the coupe, like that hidden Easter egg Corvette flag, all that stuff is a little more hidden on the coupe because of the design. With this one being more open in the back area here, you could see a lot more of the little details that Chevy gave to this car, especially with the GT2 seats and the carbon fiber inserts. Now, of course, with the convertible, we also get the painted A-pillars here. These are carbon flash painted, as well as along the top of the windshield here, which once the entire top is up and closed, the entire thing from here to all the way back here is all carbon flash painted, so gives it that really cool, some people call UFO look. It is definitely an interesting option for Chevy. This is a first for Chevy. Just like the mid-engine Corvette, this hard top thing isn't something that exists on most cars, and definitely has a supercar-esque feeling about it. Slightly off topic, but for those of you interested, the Trident wheels for the C8 Corvette don't fill up the fender well any better than the regular open spoke wheels. So if we look at the differences here with the way that fills it up versus the way my wheels fill up the gap, especially in the front, you can really tell the difference there. In my opinion, aftermarket wheels or some sort of wheel spacers are something you're going to want to look into if you get the C8 Corvette, because yeah, aftermarket wheels just fill up that wheel well so much better. Everybody's different. That's what makes the car community so awesome. We can all have what we want with the C8 Corvette. If you want a coupe, you can get a coupe. If you want a convertible, you could get an awesome convertible. As usual, the C8 Corvette gets a big thumbs up for me, even in convertible form. One last thing before we sign off, guys, I'm going to leave the back of the car kind of open so you can see all the inner workings of the convertible top here. The top is still sitting right here, but right below it is actually a composite shield that stops heat from hitting this top or affecting the headliner, basically. As you can see back here, there is a cutout that allows the heat to escape through the mesh there, which is a little less of an area than on the coupe, so hopefully heat isn't an issue for the car. We won't know that until some people start pushing these things. Lots of mechanisms and gears happening back here. It's not really the prettiest sight whenever the top is open like that, but there's a lot of stuff happening back here. We'll come over onto the other side. Same kind of thing. Lots of gears, lots of arms, lots of wiring harnesses, and we get access to some of the sound deadening material, it looks like, that's right behind the headrests of the car. But yeah, very interesting design here for sure. Lots of wire harnesses literally zip tied out of the way. So down in here we have, if you could see that, that's a drain hole. If water gets in here, it will run right down through there. This is going to be a little bit more difficult to work on than the coupe, I think. I know that this panel does come out so you can access the actual engine, but it is definitely tighter. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. Definitely looks cool though, especially from this view right here. That nice black sheen right there, that looks pretty neat. And as you guys know, you can operate this convertible top at upwards of 20 miles an hour. So if you're driving on the road and you decide you want to have the top up or down, you can do that without coming to a stop. So here it is in motion, guys. Look at all those gears turning. And then these will start spinning once the top starts dropping.
It moves pretty quick.
Yeah, it does move quick. And then the windows go up to basically end the process. So I'm gonna have him go ahead and put it back down so we can see it all in motion again. So there's the top of the engine bay that protects the actual top of the car. Definitely cool. Very cool. Big thanks to Jimmy at Blackout Tinting. He's always a huge help. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. So one last quick overview of the C8 Corvette convertible. Again, here at Blackout Tinting, I want to give a huge thank you to Josh and the entire Blackout Tinting crew. They're always more than hospitable when I'm here, and today is no exception. So one last time, we're going to go around the C8 Corvette, talk about it a little bit, and then we are done for today's video. So if you guys liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about the C8 Corvette convertible or just the base model C8 Corvette, go ahead and shoot them in the comment section down below, and I will make sure you get everything you may have answered. So just like Aaron and Patrick pointed out, that is basically the exact same view you get with a Gallardo. The back end of the car from the nacelles back, very McLaren or Lamborghini-esque. Everything about the C8 Corvette is just supercar looking, and the convertible is no exception. But anyway, guys, that's all for today. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I'm gonna have loads of C8 Corvette content just like this, and C7 Corvette content coming you are not gonna wanna miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.